Hello everyone. Welcome back to my craft room. My name is Whitney Lucas. I'm with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today we're doing a Easter Bunny mesh centerpiece. So this is going to be super cute, and on today's Facebook Live we're just going to go through it quickly. I did prep a little bit of stuff. I know you guys aren't used to seeing me prep stuff, but I only prepped a few things that were like a lot of cutting involved. So I'm going to give it a few seconds for you guys to feed through and start coming in on Facebook. And I'm going to get my tablet set up over here off to the left so I can actually see your comments and stuff as you guys start to come in. Okay. It's going to be super cute and super easy today, guys. Lots of supers. Super cute, super easy, super everything. Let me clear that off. All right. Make sure volume's off. Okay. So I got a good amount. I got a couple guys in here now. All right. Lori, Yolanda, Paula, Bonnie, Karen. Hi guys. Hi Pam. Hello. Yes, Paula, I survived the weekend, but barely. Yeah, but barely. We'll see how it goes. And man, was it a rush today to get off of work and get home, get things done, and then get in here. So you guys might not see these from me, at least at times that you guys will be able to come, because I mean, I know I'm 3 hours behind you, but we'll see how it goes. I'm probably stick to the weekends, but I needed to get this done because I said I would do it during the Super Bowl of crafts, and that didn't get to it. Those two arrangements, the wreath and the basket arrangement, just took a lot longer. You know, sometimes, you know, to get a really pretty piece, to get it as pretty as you want, you got to put the time into it. You know, sometimes beautiful stuff takes a minute to make, right? So, yeah, the one was it was like 2 hours, 45 minutes for the basket. Yeah, I can really stretch it out, can't I? Hi, Sherry. Hi, Carol. Pamela, Sharon. Hi, guys. Jeanette, Melissa, Lori. Freezing in Canada, Lori, huh? Yeah, it got to like 70-some degrees here today in Vegas, and it's a little windy. So it's sort of warm, but sort of not, but just not cold enough to wear your sweater at all times. It's that weird transition, which I still think it might be a little bit too early. But oh well, it is what it is. At least I'm above ground, so I will take whatever weather comes my way. Hi Theta, hi Ing, and Paula. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to get started today. So today, again, I said before, we are doing our Easter Bunny mesh centerpiece. And I've made a few centerpieces before, and if I thought about it, I would have grabbed one. I have a couple Halloween ones in the other room that I can show you. It's the same premise. So this is good for any single, every single celebration or theme or party or holiday you can think of. You can do this exact same thing and just apply those types of colors and theme to that. So today we're doing Easter Bunny. So what I've done is I've only prepped a few things because I just don't want you guys to sit here and watch me paint something and then wait for the paint to dry. So I painted this guy last night, and then I cut a little bit of the mesh, and I'll show you guys everything. So first off, supplies. You're going to need a 10-inch roll of mesh, any color you want. I chose this one at Hobby Lobby the other day because I like the three colors. And then when I realized last night as I was cutting it, because we're going to use the ruffle technique, as soon as you ruffle that guy in, you don't see the green in it, which is sad. But I still like the stripes. I still like the light pink and the cream in it. So we're going with it. I have some ribbon over here that should compensate for that. But this would be really pretty in the poof method, which you can do the exact same thing on this. We're going to do ruffle. You can do the poof method on this as well. I have one. No, I don't know if I have one, but it's my Christmas. It's a Christmas centerpiece I use on my end table, or on my. I have like a console table by my back door. I use it on that just as a decoration. I put a candy dish in the middle of it, but it's packed up high up in the garage now with all the rest of the Christmas stuff. But I got some pictures I'll post on Facebook after we're done, so you guys can see the other versions of this exact thing that I've made before, so you can see different ideas of how to apply the exact same things to what we're going to do. So your 10-inch roll of mesh, any color you want, or you can do a color combination. You're just going to cut equal amounts or different amounts, depending on how crazy you want to get with it, of these to do the ruffle method. Here is your label. This is from Hobby Lobby. I know it's backwards because I still haven't been able to get time to figure out what version of Android and Facebook is, for some reason, I can't get my Facebook flipped. And I have a very smart husband, and we just haven't had time to actually devote to it. So you guys, it's a backwards label, but it's just your average 8-inch mesh. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And actually, Hobby Lobby's Easter right now this week is all 40% off. I was lucky enough to purchase this last week when it was full price. So yeah, I paid $9 for that, buddy. But it was really, really cute. So I couldn't say no. Plus, my Hobby Lobby only had 3. So I felt like if I didn't grab it, it wouldn't be there when I came back. So 10-inch roll of mesh, guys. Just pick a color, a pattern if you want. You'll see when we make this, the green is going to disappear on here, but it is what it is. It's no problem. You're going to need a styrofoam disc here. And then, let's see. These are sold in the floral sections at most places. It's the green styrofoam. And I really couldn't tell you what I paid for it because I've had these for ages. I got these particular ones at Michael's. This FloraCraft brand I buy at Michael's. I know the Hobby Lobby ones are a different label and it'll actually have the price on the label. But this does not. So I'd actually have to dig and look to see how much I paid for these guys. But you can get these at I know for sure Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You can probably order them online or at other local stores that you can get artificial flowers at. Anywhere you can buy styrofoam. The size of it is 1/15/16 inch. That's how, basically it's almost 2 inches thick. 1/15/16, really guys, FloraCraft, you couldn't give us an extra whatever to get that. Anyways, it's almost 2 inches thick. And then it is 9 7/8 inches round. So it's almost a 10-inch disc. So basically you could say it's 2 inches by 10 inches. But yeah, there's a close-up of the label if you want to try to flip it. It's a little ridiculous on the size right there. 1/15/16 thick and 9 7/8 inch round. Seriously? Okay, anyhow. So this is what we're working with. I just wanted to show you guys in the package because what you're doing is complementing color of your theme. Take your paint craft or your craft paint or your acrylic paint or any kind of paint you want and paint the edges. This is not supposed to show, but if for some reason a couple pieces pop through, you've already got your bases covered. And yes, styrofoam does soak up paint. You could spray paint it. You could put ribbon around it. You can find your way of doing it. This is just my easy, best way I figured how to do. Because again, I don't want to waste ribbon around the side of it because a lot of the times with mesh, it will not show. You're not going to see the sides of this. But this is just my own little backup, just in case something might get out of the, get a little messed up or ruffled or something like that, and you might see it. So I paint the edges a little bit on each side. One of these is going to be the top, so I only paint the edge. The other is going to be the bottom, and we're going to put felt on this, but I just still paint that because there's a few places that you're still going to see this. So, or you might see it. Sorry, guys. So that's what we've done with the disc is we've painted it. You only need one piece of felt. This is your average 9 by 12 piece of felt. They're like, what, 33 cents? I can't remember. They're super inexpensive. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, anywhere, a quart. I think you can get certain more expensive ones are like 20, 30, 45 cents a sheet. You only need the one sheet, and we're going to cut some of it off on both sides. So there's still a possibility of reusing it. I use felt in a lot of things. You guys saw me use them on my fabric pumpkins I made for Halloween. Lots of felt. You only need one sheet of it. You are going to need floral pins. That's what we're going to secure the mesh to the styrofoam disc with. That's a floral pin if you guys aren't familiar with it. Little sharp buggers on one side and then a little U shape in the middle. And then for the decorative goodies, our main event is this cute little styrofoam bunny. A lot of times, you guys, I don't put a piece here in the middle, or I put something a little bit smaller to decorate around the mesh, and I put either an LED candle in the middle, a candle holder, a candle stick with a candle on it, or an apothecary jar. I do that for Christmas. I put an apothecary jar in the middle with candy in it, or an actual just a lower candy dish. I usually leave a space big enough in the middle to do that. On this particular one, I'm not. This guy is just going to be the main event nestled right in the middle. And he's going to look like he's just sitting in a little bed. So this is going to be purely decorative. It's not going to be functional. It's just going to be cute to look at on your dinner table. Or your end table, your entryway, your desk at work. You can buy these discs smaller. I have those as well, and I've made smaller ones for smaller candles. But this particular guy is a decent size. So I chose the bigger disc. Now this guy also was Hobby Lobby. It was $5. And I only saw this one and a blue one, so I grabbed the pink one because I thought it was super cute. They were the same style. It wasn't the other one that was like sitting straight up. So I grabbed him. And he's kind of glitzy a little bit, just a little bit iridescent sparkle. This stuff kind of sheds off a little bit, so you could probably use that spray everyone talks about. It's like a sealing spray, or even like with glitter, you could do hairspray on it just to get the hairspray on it and then let it dry, and then they won't come off if shedding's an issue. It's not too bad though. And he's super cute. So he's going to be the middle piece of it. I have some decorative sequined eggs. I got these guys at Michael's a few years ago. They come in like a plastic, like a little plastic bin. You can get like 12 or 13 of them, 14 of them for a certain price. So I got these a couple years ago. And I have blue, yellow, green, and this purple. And we're going to use that to accent around with the mesh. And then I've got 3 types of ribbon, and these are all from different places, guys. I got Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Paper Mart. These are just complementing colors. Here's, I'm putting my green back in there. Light yellow, which you guys saw me use this the other day, in with the wreath, the Easter cross wreath. And then a light lavender. 3 different textures, 3 different sizes. I'm sorry, 3 different colors, but they're all 1.5 inch. We want to stay with thinner ribbon because we're not going to do any kind of grand bow. We're just really going to be putting tails in this, kind of like you would a mesh wreath. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. Now, what I did with these little guys is I've put them on wooden picks, which AKA I like to use chopsticks. Save those, you guys, when you get your takeout. I put them on chopsticks, and then I've had these little complementing ribbons that you can get at Michael's. You can get them everywhere, guys. I got these at Michael's a few years ago. So here's my complementing Easter colors, and if you see here, this is what I've done. I put it on a chopstick, and then I just cut a piece of ribbon off of these spools and did a sloppy tie, just like you're like lacing up your shoes, and glued that on there like that. And I'm going to do the purple one on camera so you guys can see how I did that. But I basically pre-did the other 4. I got 2 green, a blue, a yellow, and I'm going to do a purple with you. And that's what we're going to use also as accents around the bunny, along with some ribbon. And then you'll see once we're done that it's going to be a pretty full, complete centerpiece. Okay, guys, so first things first is I'm going to check the comments because you guys have been scrolling down and scrolling crazy over here for a minute. So let me see here. Oh, Johnette, you shared. Thank you so much, guys. If you could share the video to let people know that I'm here and active, that really helps me out, helps my page, gets me a little bit of notice. I'd really appreciate it. I absolutely love it when you guys do that. Let's see, Diana, snowing where you're at. Karen, hi. And Sharon. Sharon, the base is, I just went through that. The base is a 2-inch wide and almost a 10-inch round disc that you can get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I got this particular one at Michael's. It's just it's a styrofoam disc. Sandy, so glad you're on. Yes, I'm glad you're here too. Thank you so much. Hi, Amy. Hi, Missy from Moorhead, Kentucky. Hi, Janice. Hi, Angel. I sold my lamb's ear wreath today. Yay for me. Hey, congratulations. That's good. That's really good. Hey, you guys, go over to my Etsy shop. Take a peek. Remember, I'm trying to get to Texas in June, guys. Anything you guys can do, help share my page. Really helps me out. Let's see. The bunny is cute. Yes, Amy, thank you. Let's see. Hi, Jan. And let's see. Yes, Ing's very, very good. I'm very happy for you. Carrie, how you doing? And let's see. Okay, guys. Shared. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, Carla, you're having an internet issue. I'm so sorry. I know that can be so frustrating when you want to do something, or like if you want to watch a video. I've been there many times. Husband's been there once. We have pretty good internet here at the house. We have to just because he plays games, and then sometimes my husband works from home, and he has to have really good internet for that. Hi, Jen from Nebraska. Thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, I'm going to pan down here, and we're going to get started so you can see more of my workspace. So first thing I'm doing is I'm going to put this guy out of the way. That's the last. This is what it looks like when you purchase it, so we're not using this one. After you paint and dry, and you wait for it, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sticker off of my felt, and you're just going to take your felt sheet, and we're going to lay it. You're going to pick a side, whatever side you want. I painted more on the top of this one, so that could possibly show through. I'm going to put that down, and I'm just going to lay this across the top here. And you can lay it closer to one edge than the other. So you see how much I have extra on this side? See that here? And that's just to like save extra pieces. That's so that you can have a little bit more salvage if there's little small projects you want to use. And remember, guys, I make those fabric pumpkins at Halloween. And sometimes, you know, there's people that want some cute different colors. This fabric pumpkin doesn't have to be Halloween. It's fall also, but all kinds of things come out of fall. I had someone ask me for some blue and gray ones and some different kind of fabric ones, and so I made those for her. And so you never know when you might need an odd color of felt for the bottom. So I try to salvage up as much as I can on one side. So this side I've got right to the edge. And if you see here, there's only a small bit showing on each side. And all I'm putting the felt on the bottom for is basically, this is going on the table. So this is going to keep your styrofoam from shedding too much everywhere. And it's also going to keep your styrofoam from scratching anything, or basically that's about it. Styrofoam isn't exactly scratchy, but if you guys know what I mean, this is kind of like your large bumpers that you see on bottoms of like glass candle holders, those types of things. This is just going to be a felt bottom just to make things look nice. Because also I don't want to spray paint or paint the whole bottom of this, because that would be super time consuming, mind numbing time consuming, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I have my placement where I want it, and you can see felt sticks to it pretty easily. It's not going to come off. So I'm going to peel it back halfway on this side, right? And I'm just going to start laying a whole bunch of glue on it. Yeah, yes, my glue, the glue will start to melt your styrofoam. Don't worry about it. Just kind of fold it back over and rub on it. Same thing on this side. Pull it back as far as it'll go from where you started gluing before, and then just start gluing. You don't have to have a huge amount of glue. It's just enough to secure it. And you might see some of the glue because it gets super hot coming through here. Depending on it, this is a lighter color. If you use black, you won't see it at all, right? If you use black or darker colors. This is a lighter pink, so you can kind of see where I put some of the glue. But again, this is the bottom, guys. It's okay. It's not earth-shattering. And if someone's going to scrutinize the bottom of the piece, at least they're looking at felt and not the raw styrofoam, right? Hi, Kyle. Hi, Beverly. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Ellie. On a side note, your makeup is on point. Gorgeous. Thank you, Ellie, because I just got off of work. So this is 9-10 hours of the day is gone, and you know, thank you. I appreciate that. That's nice. The only thing I did when I got home was I may have applied powder. That's it. I didn't do anything with my eyes. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yolanda, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Amy, I really like your fabric pumpkins. I plan to make them next fall. Yes, I'm going to get an early start on that because I had a few orders and then it got out of hand and I couldn't make some for some people. So remember, guys, if you want some fabric pumpkins, put in an order early. I'll post it out because I'm gonna have to start making them earlier this year. Kyle, what kind of glue gun is it? I got this on Amazon. It's a CBiz glue gun. I've only had it for about maybe a month, and it's pretty awesome. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Maybe $20, $25, $30. I don't remember. It came with 10 sticks of glue. But it's pretty awesome. I like that it has the two. It's got two levels on it. It says 60 watt and 100 watt. I've never had to put it on 100 watt because 60 watt is the hottest my old gun used to get at. So this is pretty awesome. All right, guys. So we glued all of our felt on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. And make sure you guys have sharp scissors. Because if you start to just kind of chew, if it just starts to chewing at the felt, it's not going to give you a nice cut. So all I do is I line my scissor up. Like, I don't have a perfect edge. It's not glued completely down to the edge. So it's leaving you just a little bit of room to start to cut. So I like to line it up with the edge I have. And then I just start making little cuts. And I just told you guys to make sure you had sharp scissors. Guess what I don't have? I'm going to have to use my ribbon scissors. Don't tell my husband. I told him not to use I caught him using my ribbon scissors for something else. Just start cutting really close along the edge. And you'll get a natural curve. And then you see how that looks. And what we can do is we can go in after all this and we can put just a little tiny bit of glue under there to glue it down. And then you got these little pieces left. So on these two corners, I have a little felt stash where I keep all my felt together. On these two corners, you might be able to get away with this because I don't really use felt for anything else, just for like a few small things. You could save it. If you're a remnant saver, go for it. More power to you guys. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Kyle. Kyle. What kind of... Oh, Gary said that. Sandy, I agree. You were... Oh, thank you, Sandy. You guys are too nice. You guys are so nice. All right, now on this side, I'm going to try to cut a little bit closer because I kind of want to save most of this. I can get a good couple pieces off the bottom of that, so I'm going to definitely save this side for my remnants. And you see, if your scissors are sharp enough, do you see how you get a really good... You get a really good side, you know, a really good cut on it. And again, we're going to go back and we're going to glue all that down. But this is just to get it on, get it secure, and then you can start cutting. So here I'm going to start cutting this side here. And I'm just using my scissor right up against the styrofoam and use it as a guide. And it just guides you right through the whole process. And as long as your scissors are sharp, you get a really good smooth curve. And then now I have this piece that I can cut all that off, and then I got all that I can use for my pumpkins. If someone should want something super feminine and pink, because that can happen. And if it does happen, I want to be part of it. Let's see. Hi, Aaron from San Diego, and Jean from Boulder City. A couple people on my time. Nice, guys. Nice to have you. So here, guys, this is where I'm going through it. I'm just lifting up. I'm just grabbing loosely with my hands to see how far it comes up. And you're just going to put a tiny amount of glue closer to the edge. Push that back down. It goes really fast, and it's not like structurally important. It's just kind of like a finishing touch, that kind of thing. And that's it for the base. So now you flip it back over. That's done. Flip it back over, and we're going to start working on the top of it. And you know, one thing I hate, guys, is I hate the styrofoam shedding. I can't stand it. It just drives me up the wall. And this silicone mat, it's like glue. So there's styrofoam all over it. It's just like kind of driving me crazy. Excuse me. Okay, guys, what do we got over here? Hi, Debbie from South Carolina. Hi, Lita. And Sharon. Kelly, you're the pink queen. All right, so then you would be the one doing Halloween and fall and pink. Pumpkins, pink. I got you. I got you. I like pink a lot as well. Pink is my go-to for anything. Hence, my ribbon scissors are pink. I have a pink flower. I got more pink scissors. If it doesn't come in pink, my husband knows, then I'll take purple, but I prefer pink. All right, guys, so we're going to get our floral pins out and just keep them off to the side, get them ready. I have a glue skillet ready. If you don't have a glue skillet, you're going to have a little bit of a difficulty just using a hot glue gun. Before I got my skillet, I used to use... I don't have it here. I used to use just the regular craft glue that comes in like a gold tall bottle with a white tip on it. And I used to just put some of that in on a piece of cardboard, and I would, because you're going to glue these floral pins in, and I used to use that to glue everything together. And basically, you have to wait for that stuff to set. If anyone's ever worked with craft glue, you'll know that that stuff has to set, and usually I have to leave whatever I've done because it'll turn clear once it's done. I've had to leave that stuff to dry like overnight, and it's frustrating, but it will keep things in here solid. Hot glue works too, but for me the glue skillet works a lot better for this particular thing. So what I did was I unrolled a lot of the mesh, and I've already cut most of it. So what I did was I unrolled it, and I used my rotary cutter, or you can use scissors, whatever you have on hand. Use something to hold your mesh roll back. And I went and I cut it at 14 inches. So every single one of these is a 14-inch strip. Okay. That's what size I'm going with. And I'll see how many I use. I cut 20 of them. I have not made a centerpiece for over a year. So I'm not sure how many I'll need. I'll keep track while we make this, so then at the end when we're done, hopefully I'll remember to count if I have to cut more. So remember guys, I have 20 pieces here that are already cut. So if I cut more, remind me to count for you guys, because I'll forget probably. So cut 20 pieces, and we're going to start the ruffle technique is basically what we're going to do. Hi Lita, or Letty, sorry, hi Letty. Let's see. Yes, Eileen's tacky glue. That's what it's called. It's called tacky glue. Yep, that's exactly. Oh, Amy, yes, mine is a 6-inch skillet. It's the 6-inch one. It's just, there were a couple other people that said you can get some in like the camping areas or camping stores, because the one that I got as a Sure Bonder was like $20-some last year. Now it's over $50, and I'm not interested in paying that much, so... I wanted it, just another as a backup, but yeah, it's a 6-inch skillet, so it's really good in space saving. Excuse me, guys. It's a little windy out. It's warming up and it's windy, so it's that time of year where you start to get allergies. All right, guys, so we're going to start placing these on here. We're going to basically be using the ruffle technique like you would on a mesh wreath, but we're going to use the floral pins to hold it in. So we're going to take our red mesh and lay it out in front of us, and then you're going to take your index and your middle finger, and you're just going to use it to scrunch it or pull it up, and just keep pulling until you have like a little bundle like this. And then this is where you get all your cute little curls and ruffles. So that's the mesh ruffle technique. So like you would normally do on a wreath, you place this in and then put your ties around it. But what we're going to do is we're going to dip the ends of our, well, I got two different techniques. Let me see. This is the one where I'm going to hold it on here first. We'll see how it goes. Excuse me. So we dip that in there, curl it off, and then place it on either side of this. Press it down in there. Now some of that glue got everywhere, so I think what I'm going to do, guys, is just put it on first. Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. So this is what it looks like after you push one in. And I'm starting on the outside. I'm putting more towards the edge of the circle, or the edge of the disc. So just keep gathering in the middle here. So we're going to skip that first one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the floral pin around it first. And it's okay if it sticks through on a couple pieces or not, but do you see how it's sticking out there? So then now you can hold it this way. It's still pinched and it's gathered in the middle. So this might be easier to actually apply glue to the end of it. And then I'm going to take it over here, lift this up on this side so that I can put this as close as possible to it. And then put that second one on. You'll start to see how close you want to place them. If you can start to see the ruffles. And that's basically, we're going to create a big old poof. It's going to be like a big old bow explosion of cuteness, and then we're going to put all kinds of other stuff in it. I am going to put ribbon tails in it, and I'm going to use my pick machine, my steel pick machine for it. You guys saw, if you were with me on my Super Bowl weekend of crafting, I had a little crash course in it, because I ended up using it on the one, and can't we just use curious what you're doing? No, thanks Trish. So I got a crash course in it, and a couple of you guys helped me because I got a little stuck on it. Now, normally, guys, I would have read the instructions first, but I was a little excited. Plus, I was on the live. I didn't want to take too much time, but I'm going to show you guys the technique where you use the ribbon tails in your steel pick machine instead of instead of a floral stem. You can use it for your ribbons too. So it's just now we're going to just keep scrunching up these pieces here. We're going to put the floral pin around the majority of it and then pull it up on each side. This is also where if you don't have a glue skillet, you would take this and dip it into your tacky glue, whatever. Like I used to squirt a big puddle of it onto like a spare piece of like cardboard or paper plate or something, and then I would dip it in it and stick it in that. Now, you have an immediate hold with hot glue. Obviously, the tacky glue, some of the stuff can pull out, so you got to be a little careful if you're using tacky glue. And then take it, pull these over, and put my next one in right here. And the idea is if you want to fill it really super tight and get a lot of density in there, then go for it. When you do the poof method, it's still connected, obviously, because it's like doing a wreath. I don't know if you necessarily have to watch how big your poofs are, but you can start to make them look a little odd if they're not very similar in size. It'll start to look a little weird. It's not as forgiving as if you're making a wreath, because you're working with a smaller spot, you're working with less surface area, so it could still end up turning out a little weird looking. And you see, guys, as I'm making this, I'm noticing here that you really can't see the green at all, which is why, honestly, it's why I bought it. I like that limey, leafy green color in it, and now you can't see it because of where we're putting the scrunches and the ruffles, but oh well. It's still pink, it's still cute. I got a green egg, I've got a green egg, I got green ribbon, I got 2 green eggs. Oh, I forgot about these guys. I have these little berry picks. I may or may not put them in. I'll have to see what happens towards the end. Those are super old. They're from Michael's, but these are really old. These are probably like 5, 6 years old. It's one of those things that you keep in your stash that I probably bought it because it was on Easter clearance at like 90% off or something, and I just couldn't say no to it. So I guaranteed that's how that ended up. Because I have like 2 purple and 1 green, and I have no clue why I would have gotten like an odd number of them. So it had to have been something that was like 4 cents or something on clearance, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. It's also, these are also a good way to get rid of, obviously, it's a stash buster, right? Because if I use those berries, those little berry picks, then I'll get rid of them. Nope. And then you can move your ruffles around, push your pin in further here and there. Whatever you gotta do to get things a little... I'm just basically putting them in with the ruffles next to each other. And that's what we're coming up with some. So you can still see some of this right now. We'll see how far it goes. Let's see here. Oh, you bought an electric pipe at Salvation Army. It still works like a charm. Wow. Let's see. Yes, Walmart is. Someone had said that I don't know if they sent a link or not, but yeah, they said Walmart has a good camping skillet or just regular for you. Basically, you can use them for kitchen. They just marketed the same exact thing for glue. It just didn't come with a lid. Some of the other kitchen one has a lid, and I actually prefer a lid for that because after it cools off, I could keep it, from getting dust and glitter and stuff in it. So that would be kind of cool to get that. Welcome. Yes, welcome, Mary. Let's see. Are you using poly jute mesh? Let's see, Joanne. This is just a roll of mesh I got at I got at Hobby Lobby, and it doesn't say that it's jute. It says that it's deco mesh. Now, it's not shiny. It doesn't have foil in it. If you see here, it's just regular mesh. I don't know if it actually has... That's probably some sort of like faux... It almost looks like it's got raffia in it. It's like a raffia type material in it, but it's definitely not a shiny, like sparkly one. because this bunny's going to put the glitz in it. That's why I wanted to do that. I didn't want to go like too crazy overboard with all the shiny stuff or glitter and stuff. Irina, the base is one of these, one of these styrofoam discs. I got this at Michael's years ago, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. It's basically 2 inches by 10 inches round. That's what I'm using for the base. And then I painted it, and then we put a piece of felt on the bottom. So that way you don't have to, I mean, if someone is to take a peek at it and look at it, you won't really see much of the ugly green styrofoam, unless you want to. Unless you want to. So all I'm doing here, guys, is it's a lot of ruffling, a lot of scrunching up the mesh. Grabbing a floral pin, placing that down in the center. I'm holding the mesh up on each side so that when I dip it in the glue, it doesn't get in your glue, because this glue will melt the mesh. And then grabbing it and placing it next in line. I'm going to hold this to the side and just place that right down in there. You can see how adjust your ruffles a little bit so they start coming out together. And you'll start to see, basically, push them down too much, you have to pull them back out. You'll start to see your little ruffly centerpiece is starting to take shape. Kelly, what kind of glue is in the skillet? This, what is that? AdTech. It's just AdTech glue. Buy them in the sticks, and I cut the sticks. I don't buy the glue pillows. It's the regular stuff I already have, and I just cut up the sticks. Actually, just did that because it was getting kind of low. Cut up the sticks and put them in there, and they melt. And I got a really big box of AdTech glue on Amazon right around Christmas. And it says it's 5 pounds. It's a 5-pound box. I got it for some crazy, I mean, it was an amazing deal. Because I was buying like 24 sticks, in the 24 stick bags, I believe, at Walmart for $2 and something cents. But I got 5 pounds of it, I want to say, for 20 bucks. I can't remember, guys. It was on Amazon, but it was a really good deal. And so, of course, when I got it, I took all the glue out and I counted how many sticks I got, and it ended up being a way better deal. And I have Amazon Prime, so I didn't pay for shipping. With all the electronics that my husband goes through, and he's a software technician, or software engineer, or hardware stuff. I mean, he does computer stuff, so he's always got some sort of wire or USB this and external hard drive and storage and blah blah blah. And you know, sometimes it's usually like when he starts to talk, I can hear the teacher from the Peanuts. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like wah wah wah. That's what I hear. I mean, I understand a lot of it, which I really shouldn't, but when you're married to someone, you start to learn. You learn their trades. So I learn a lot of computer stuff from him. Hi from Wyoming, Deborah. Hi. You just ordered a 6-inch electric frying pan on sale for $11 plus change. Okay, so that's kind of awesome. That's kind of awesome. Because these little 6-inch ones are like the kind you really want to get just to save space. I mean, those big ones, if you've got the space, then go for it, because you can put a lot of glue in it. But I like my little one here. I'm just taking all the little pieces off that fray. I don't spray anything. It's normal. I accept it, and I just kind of cut the little pieces off that shed. Majority of the time after you're done, because the parts you cut are not showing, you shouldn't have a really big issue with it. But I'm not going to spray. Right now, this is 20 pieces, so if I have to cut more, I'd have to spray more than 20 pieces of mesh, guys. And I don't know about you guys, but that seems a little bit too labor intensive. Hi guys, I'm just checking in. Glue sticks here are expensive, so yes, look for deals. Okay, yeah, I agree. Is your hubs watching tonight? Irina, yeah, he probably is. I can hear that he just got home from work, so he'll probably turn it on in his computer room. But yeah, he was working still. He didn't go. He doesn't. We don't have the same hours, so sometimes he's home before me. Sometimes he's home way after me. It just depends on the day. He sort of makes his own hours, which is also a blessing because he can be home for certain things that I can't be, because I have a set schedule at my job. But yeah, I can hear that he just got home because I can hear the dog squeakies over there. So if you guys hear the dog squeakies or the dogs barking, or little dogs, and he's got the girls out there. I locked them out just because, again, I think you guys probably know from my other videos, Tootsie is a vacuum cleaner. My one little wiener dog will eat anything on the floor. And when she was a puppy, she used to eat rocks. So we'd have to constantly like dig them out of her mouth because I didn't want to have that crazy, scary surgery where they have to cut them open to get them out. She's that kind of dog. She will, if it's on the floor, it's in her mouth. So she's not allowed in here until I have vacuumed. And over this last weekend when I did all the floral cutting for those wreaths I made you guys, I did not vacuum yesterday. I was editing videos and putting more stuff on YouTube even yesterday. So I was not able to get to vacuuming. I try to vacuum after every project in here. That sometimes doesn't happen. So we're almost done with the first layer, guys, and it's pretty full. I'm going to put some in the center, which is going to take a little bit more finagling and moving things around, which basically this is how I would do it if I'm going to put something in the middle. And I'll stop and show you guys and go through that before I start adding more. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean when I say putting something in the middle. It was more or less like if you're going to put a candy dish, apothecary jar, like a LED candle holder. I really like to put candlesticks in the middle of my Christmas one. And then I place an LED candle on top of that. And that looks super, super pretty on the... I have one for my dinner table, and then the other one I just keep on a console table. That's really, really cute. And it has the other one I made for Christmas on the console table. That one has it's a really shiny high foil mesh, and that one picks up a lot of pretty stuff, especially with just the Christmas lights next to it and the light that's coming from the candle itself. Alright, last one, guys. You see here, we're not putting so much glue that the glue is like literally dripping down off onto your hand or the mesh. You want to put enough in there and then just, I do a lot of swirls. I'm basically making a bunch of circles and swirls in the glue pot, in the glue pan before I pull it out. So that it's just to cut down on the strings as well. The glue strings, spider webs, the glue webs. You don't really have to make sure, it's not like you have to like make sure that it's like just soaked with hot glue. It's really forgiving like that, so it'll be okay. Okay guys, the first round is done, and I'll show you guys here. This is what you end up having, is a cute little ruffly fluff. If you see here, you can kind of see the sides, but once it's down on the table and you have your pieces. Now remember, we're going to be putting berries. We're going to be putting some cute little accents of these little eggs in here. These are going to be sticking out here and there. And then our bunny, and it's not going to show as much. Now remember, use a darker mesh, or a solid mesh, or a high foil mesh. You won't see through it as much. I really wish you could see the green in there. You can't really see the green unless you really like dig deep down. It's okay, there's the green. I really like that green, but I'm gonna add the green. I just need to calm down. Just calm down, Whitney. We'll add green. It'll be okay. So basically this is where, at this point, if I was going to use this for a centerpiece with a candle, or a centerpiece with a candy dish, apothecary jar, and all that other stuff you guys I've mentioned before, this is where I wouldn't put anything in the center because you're going to need to move all this out Do you see how you have that space in the middle? This is where you would nestle your piece of whatever it is. Now, when I do that, you guys, I normally take an extra piece of mesh before I start this process. And let me know if you guys don't follow. Before you start this process, I take a piece of mesh and I like fold it into fourths. I put that flat and I put 4 floral pins down. So that for some reason, if you can see through the bottom of the glass dish or the candle holder or what have you, you see mesh, you don't see the green styrofoam. Because again, I am not painting this entire thing because of how much paint it soaks up. It's not like it's a crazy, like a labor intensive thing. It's just, to me, it's tedious and kind of annoying because of how much it soaks up. But I also don't want to go out and spray paint. I don't want to have to buy spray paint. You know, this craft acrylic paint's pretty cheap, so just I go at the sides with it and it's fine. But since we're not doing that with this, I'm just making this a solid centerpiece. I'm going to add more mesh into the center of this right now. Let's see. Did you guys, I got a thumbs up, so you guys got that. Okay, how much? Let's see. I cut 20 pieces. So I have 1, 2, I have 3 more, and I honestly don't think I'm going to cut any more pieces. I cut 20 lengths of this at 14 inches long. And so far, I think this is going to work out. Now, I couldn't remember how many I used before, so maybe that's one of those things that's just coming back to me, and I'm doing all right at remembering all of it. Oh, thank you guys. I see all the hearts and the likes coming through. It's so nice. Makes me feel so special. Oh, let's see here. Anita just got here. The base is I got it right here. It's a styrofoam disc. It's about 2 inches thick by 10 inches round. And it doesn't say that on there. It says, we went through this before, 1 15/16 inch. It's basically 2 inches. And 9 7/8 inches round. It's just a 10-inch disc. And when you search for it online, it'll come up as like 2 by 10, and then you can see that the measurements are just short of that. And I got that at Michael's, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby and anywhere else. I don't know that they're that crazy affordable, because again, remember I said styrofoam is, for some reason, styrofoam is expensive, but for what this is in the long run, I want to say, you guys, at the most, I think I paid, I want to say maybe $4.99 or $6.99. I think $6.99 is the highest I'd pay for this bigger one. I think the smaller one is $5.99 or $4.99. It's been a long time since I bought them. I have a stash back that I'd made a bunch for. So these are also good for luncheons, get-togethers. I'm going to put a couple out. I mean, obviously, I already told you, I put some out for Thanksgiving, Christmas. I have fall ones. I have Christmas ones. I've got a couple of Halloween ones. They look really cute, the whole handle in them. Let's see. What was just one roll used for 20 pieces? Yeah, it's 1 10-inch roll, and this is how much I have left. So I still have a decent amount left. I don't even know if that's half a roll, but you may be able to get a whole nother one out of this. But like, if at worst case scenario, if you can't get all 20 pieces, you could always add in maybe an accent piece of green, you know, a solid green, pink, or even a lavender. You could use some lavender in with the rest of this to do another one. It's always an option to add more in. Oh, and you're going to go to Hobby Lobby before they close. Now, I'm pretty sure you can find some really cute Easter stuff on Craft Outlet or Paper Mart. I haven't bought any mesh from Paper Mart. I've gotten ribbon from them. And Paper Mart, I believe, is in California. So all you East Coasters might not be good, but Paper Mart's in California. So when I order from them, I don't have to pick the most expensive shipping, and I get it in a day because I'm right next door. So here I'm going to start adding it to the middle, guys, and just kind of making spaces, opening some up, pressing that down in there. You don't have to pack it in because your mesh takes up a lot of room. Your mesh is pretty dense. It's going to, you know, pack in on its own, it's sort to say, if that makes sense, guys. You don't really have to sit there and really squish it and make it really dense. You can if you want. This is a more lighter mesh, but you can see even without putting anything in the middle, you can't see through it. So I'm going to use these two, and then I'm going to step back and see if I need to cut any, or the last two I have. I'm going to step back and see if I really need to put more in here or not. And you know, I could actually, I mean, we're going to put a bunny in the middle, so there isn't going to really be room for a candle, because this is just going to be a fun little thing. But if you don't use a bunny, we're going to basically apply the same principle, leave the bunny off, and you could put a candy dish in the middle with those, I guess they're malt balls, those chocolate Easter egg balls that are like speckly. My mom loves those. Those are a must every year. Every Easter, I guarantee, those are always in my Easter basket, and my mom always had them out. My grandma had them out in candy dishes. You guys do candy dishes? My mom and my grandma, I grew up with candy dishes, and my grandma had some huge crystal ones that you did not go near when you were little, because if you broke it, you would basically die. So, huge crystal ones, and I have 2 of them now, and I'm afraid to put them out. There are no children in my house. My husband and I are the only ones here, and I am so afraid to put it out on the counter because I'm scared it's going to break. But they're gorgeous. But candy dishes are like a normal thing. At Christmas time, we put peanuts and Red Hots out. That was like a thing that my grandpa always liked. But we have like a ton of candy dishes. And sometimes I don't always put candy in them. We put nuts in them. We put, I had those breath mints, like those Lifesaver breath mints in them for a while. Anything that I can get multiples of. At one point, I had so many hot sauce packets left over, I just stuck them in a candy dish. I mean, because it had a lid on it, you couldn't tell that it was hot sauce. And yes, if you guys need to know that secret about me, I save my hot sauce packets because they're good on other things. Especially taco sauce packets. I like to put those on eggs. Sorry, guys. Off topic. Anyways. That's exactly what I'm making. I'm making a centerpiece. I'm going to put a candy dish in the middle, and I'm going to put some hot sauce packets in it for Easter. Isn't that nice? Self-entertained here, guys. Sorry. Okay. Got most of my little strings out that I want to get out. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm not going to add... Let's see how much more I need. I'm not going to add any more because I'm like pulling it apart just gingerly here, and I'm not seeing any big holes. So this is basically 20 cuts at 14 inches long of 10-inch mesh. 20 pieces, 14 inches long, 10-inch mesh. And this is what you get. So we've got a styrofoam disc with felt on the bottom. I painted it so in case it shows while it's sitting down on your table. And if you guys could see here, from the side, you're only going to get a few pieces that show through. Not horrible. And if you want to solve that, all you have to do is cut more pieces and do the exact same thing on the side. You can add them on the side. Now, it might stick up a little bit. You might have to force it down and kind of pull them out to get things to lay flat. I'm satisfied with the way this looks, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Just an idea, if that's a preference of yours and it bugs you, there's a way to fix it. So this is what we've got so far. Yep, I can see that there. And I don't know if there's a way to cut longer mesh like we did for that coastal beach wreath that I made. I cut them in much, much longer, like 30-inch pieces, like... I think it was Hardworking Mom does. She cut hers longer for her wreath, and that did cut down on fraying. I'm finding so many more pieces here, guys. It's just one of those things, kind of like glue strings. You'll see them, pull them out, cut them out, and eventually you'll be a-okay. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the main event in. I'm going to put the big bunny in first. So here's where you need chopsticks. We are done with the floral pins, so I'm going to put those away or out of the way so you guys don't have to look at them. So we need chopsticks, or you can use dowels, or you can use skewers, like kebab skewers, the wooden skewers. Anything that you can make a pick out of. You could even use, like, remember I tell you guys to always save these little stems? You could use the stems that you cut off of your daisies or hydrangea or whatever stem you have. Save that, and you can use that in it. I like to use the wooden chopsticks. especially if I'm going to sell. And I plan on listing this on my Etsy shop, in my Etsy shop, you guys. So this will be for sale. If this is going to go to someone, this is going to be basically a brand new wooden stick. If someone cares that it's a chopstick, it's not meant for you. This isn't going to be your cup of tea. That's fine. But in the long run, whether I bought this at a craft store in a 25 pack, or the fact that I got it with my dinner for free and they're brand new, shouldn't matter. It's a wooden piece. Basically it's a dowel. Now see what happens. This always happens to me whenever we go to eat there too. I go to pull my chopsticks apart, and this one broke. So not the end of the world, because I needed a pointy end anyways to stick in the bunny. We're going to have to make this one into a pointy end anyways. Plus we're going to be cutting a lot of this off to make it shorter to fit in there. So I'm just going to take a peek over here and see what you guys have been saying. Where are we at here? And if I miss some, because you guys are comments are scrolling in pretty fast. I'm not used to this. This is kind of fun. The last couple ones, you guys have been like showing up and helping out and doing all kinds of stuff. So many of you guys are here. I love it. Let's see. Okay, what was the just 120 pieces? Yes. Bobby, I keep you laughing and learning. Yeah. I'm self-entertained. I really am. I could sit in a room alone and find stuff to laugh at. Trust me, people walk by and think I'm crazy all the time at work. I'm just laughing. Just laughing. Let's see. Keep going in and out. Mary, you mean like I'm getting a bunch of hearts. Thanks, guys, so much. Yes, bridal and baby showers also. For a bridal, you could use those cute little bells or whatever the color of the flower the bride's using. You can put florals in here. Ribbon, of course. For a baby shower, you could use, they sell giant pacifiers or the little, there we go, guys. Hi, we're back. Sorry about that. Had a notification on my phone because it's 6 o'clock. It's time to give my baby her pill. My little Doxy has seizures, so we give her the phenobarbital pills twice a day. So that's why we got a little bit of interruption there. But my husband's taking care of that right now. So let's see. I'm going to make sure everybody's back on. Just let me know, everybody, that we're back on. Cute shower decorations. Yes. Yep. Jan, it is crazy what they want for styrofoam. Yeah. And the prepackaged stuff kind of falls apart, or it's like really staticky. But I have seen some big, thick pieces like electronics. We bought a really big TV. I'm like, save that styrofoam. I want that. I want that in my, don't throw that away. I want that. I've done it too. I also save it and I put my feather picks in it. So you can always, like, more delicate stuff you can use for storage. What are the silver things? I don't know what you mean. What silver things, dear? What do I have that's silver? Oh! Floral pins. They're floral pins. Sorry about that. What did I use that was silver? They're floral pins, and I was putting those in the middle of the mesh to use it to secure it down. Let's see. Says, I always got malted milk balls. Yuck. Oh, you didn't like them? I love them. Jelly beans. Yep, all that stuff. Whatever you got, put in a candy dish. Paper Mart order tomorrow. Okay, so you got your first one on its way, huh? All right. Oh, everybody's having like a candy thing. See what I started? Sorry, guys, I started that. Oh, yes, Trish. Thanks for helping Debbie out and answering that for me. Oh, Kyle, so your husband saves condiments too. See, I'm not the only one. Now, I know they have like an expiration date, but I don't know what that really is. So, but it doesn't really last that long in my house for me to have to worry about it. Brenda, yes, you can wrap it with ribbon if that's what you choose. I personally don't want to. I sort of think it's a waste. If it shows more and it makes you happy, wrap it with ribbon. But I don't have any 2-inch ribbon. I have 1.5-inch ribbon and 2.5-inch ribbon. But I don't have any 2-inch ribbon, and I really did look because I sometimes don't feel like sitting here and painting all that with acrylic paint. But you could wrap it with ribbon if you don't like the way it looks, or it might give you a nicer feel. You could also use burlap and then just cut the burlap. I know you have to make sure you wear a mask when you cut burlap, guys. Diana, first time watching from North Carolina. Thanks and welcome, you guys. Thanks so much. Sharon, we like the crazy. Oh, that's so nice. Thanks for sharing, you guys. I appreciate it so much. Okay, so we're back. Okay, Whitney, you're a good kind of crazy. Thank you, Lori. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Flowers, foam, ribbon, etc. Yes. Okay. All right. Mine's a huge measurement and everything else. Perfect. Okay, guys. So now we're moving on. We are going to put our main event in. So we got our chopsticks that we saw. Of course, not used, guys. If you use them, throw them out. We're not trying to be that frugal here. So this guy's was $4.99 at Hobby Lobby. This week, all of their Easter is 40% off. So I bought them at full price because, again, I only saw 2 at my Hobby Lobby. And technically, their Easter wasn't out. This was in a cart where the lady was still stocking the shelves. And I was stalking her because I saw the boxes she was opening. And I was like, oh, what's in that box? Oh, look at this bunny. Put it in my cart. What else you got in that box? You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those people like, oh, let me help you not have to put that on the shelf and put it right in my... So I got him. They only had this one and a blue one. So I grabbed this guy. $5. You can get it 40% off. If your Hobby Lobby has them, you can go get one and make a cute little bunny too. So first thing first is we're going to prep it. This is going to be styrofoam under here, guys. That's normally what they are. It's so lightweight you wouldn't believe that we are going to basically skewer our bunny. And I'm going to use 2 of them in here just because it's a wider base. I don't really want to use one because there's always that chance that it could end up being too wobbly and it could break. So since my chopstick broke when I was kind of pulling them apart, it did most of the work for me. So I'm going to use this sharp end to place. I'm just going to pick a spot and I'm going to push it in as slowly as I can, because you know sometimes you might hit a soft spot and then run it all the way through, which I've done before on decorative things. So you just want to go in a little bit slower, a little bit slower. If that doesn't work, now see that went in really nice. I'm just going to go a little bit slower, a little bit slower. Okay, now that's in a decent amount that I'm happy with. I'm going to pull it back out, shoot some hot glue right under there, and push my skewer back in. Okay, so now with this one, I got to cut. I'm going to cut it at a diagonal. If you see here, we're going to be cutting some of this off the bottom anyways because it's definitely too tall. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the top of the chopstick and I'm using my wire cutters here and I'm cutting it at a diagonal. And I need a little bit of leverage. Hold on, guys. I need a little bit of leverage because I'm going to win this. There we go. And that shot off in the background. So here we did is I cut it off at a diagonal and I made a point on it so it's sharp as well. And I'm going to put it just to the right. So here's the first one I did and I've already glued it in. And then I'm going to put this one just right here. And remember, don't push too hard, too quickly, because you could end up throwing it in there too fast. So that one went in really smoothly. If you see there, we'll pull it back out and shoot some glue and put it right back in. So you're basically making your guide hole and then you're putting the styrofoam in. Then you're putting the glue in and it's becoming permanent. So now we got 2 little extra pieces here for the bunny. And this is what we're using to turn the bunny into a stake. So now I know that my styrofoam down here, now see, this is what it looks like if you leave it that way. So just guesstimate, take a look, set it down in there and see, is that too tall? It might not look it to you, but we're going to push it in. I don't want to see those sticks at all. I want the bunny nestled into the styrofoam. So I'm not necessarily going to cut too much length off of this, but I am going to cut them at diagonals like I did the top because I want them to be sharp when I cut them or when I push them in. So I'm cutting them both at diagonals. So you see how you cut it at a diagonal and then you get 2 sharp points. Helps it sink in a little bit easier. And then here's the tricky part. You're going to make your guide holes. So kind of push things apart in here. Find your empty spots, right? Use something to hold it down if you have to hold it back. We're going to find our center. Kind of just push them down in there. And do I like that? Is that low enough for the ruffles to come out? Do a little bit more. Okay, that's good. I'm going to pull him back out. You see how cute he is? Look how cute he is. Oh, it's like a little sparkly chocolate bunny. So cute. Excuse me, guys. Really sorry about my nose. Oh, the wind has been crazy here in Vegas. It's starting, and I don't even have allergies. I got friends that even one of my friends I work with, she gets crazy allergies every March. I don't even really have allergies, and it's affecting me. All right, guys. So now we're gonna pull it back out. Just kind of work it, and it's kind of in there good, but we want to work it out. And we're going to put glue in the holes. I don't know if I can even show this to you. There's holes down in there, if you can see. See, there's one. You're going to just put a dab of hot glue, and it'll start to sink in. Your hot glue is going to be hot. It'll start to melt the styrofoam just a little bit. And then get your bunny back in its regular spot and work it back down into where it was originally. And it'll push back down right where you had it, just as it should. Just as it should. Okay. There might be an instance where if you get it at a right angle, you could possibly see, I'm just going to hold this here, possibly see the skewers, but we've got so much extra stuff to put in here that it should not be an issue. Okay, so there's our main event. There's our little bow. There's our bunny. Look how cute that guy is. Best part about making it a centerpiece is it's cute from every angle. You put that in anywhere on any table. Let's see. 10-inch wide mesh, 14 inches. Thank you, Jan. Perfect. Yes. Yep, that's correct. I did cut that. Perfect. Let's see. Looks very nice. What size did you cut your mesh? Perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, just check in, see how far. Hi from Florida, first time. Norma, thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. Where did you get the bunny? He got him at Hobby Lobby. Oh, yes, Gladys, thank you for answering that for me. And Amy, yep, and Marianne. Thank you, guys. You guys are on top of this. Thank you so much. So cute. What is the base? Teresa, the base is a styrofoam disc. I should just keep this closer to me. This is the base. It's a 2-inch by 10-inch styrofoam disc. You can get in the floral department. Okay, guys. So next in is, I don't know if I want to do the ribbon or if I want to do the eggs. I think I'll do the ribbon, you guys, because that's a little bit more. So we got pink and white, pink and white. You can't see the green in there, but we're going to be adding green ribbon. So I'm going to take my ribbon pieces here, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to start placing it in here. So I pushed him off to the side because we are going to open up this ribbon, and I'm going to show you how to use your steel pick machine to make ribbon picks. We're going to make ribbon tails, basically. I'm not doing any loops. I'm not doing any hand looping, no twisting, nothing. You guys are going to love this. Super simple and gets the point across. You get your pretty ribbon in there and you get all the other softness, but then you don't have to really make a bow. At this point, to me, the centerpiece looks like a gigantic bow. I like it that way. So I'm just going to open this ribbon. Let me find where the... This is a new roll. I ordered this probably maybe 4 years ago from Paper Mart, and I haven't used it yet. But I thought that the lime greens in it was perfect for what we have. Because remember, I got lime green. There was green in the mesh, but you can't see it now because where we did all the ruffles is right where the green is. But I've got green eggs and green ribbon. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how I do it. You're going to cut a dovetail in every end. So fold it in half from the folded edge to the diagonally up to the wire edge. And I'm going to guesstimate by grabbing my piece. I'm going to put my thumb down into the piece because we have to push this into the styrofoam to see how long I want to make it. So I want it longer than that. Right about here. So that looks right to me. that's how I measure that if it has to show. So this is about 14 inches as well. So 14-inch ribbon pieces. And I'll show you guys. Almost did that backwards. How many people do that? I can't be the only one. Like I sit there and when you dovetail, after so many times you're dovetail, you start to do it backwards. So instead of a V, you have like a triangle coming out. What size ribbon, please? Linda, these are all 1.5 inch width ribbons. I have 3 different kinds of 1.5 inch ribbon. And I'm only going to cut a few of each. I'm cutting them at 14 inches long. We'll see how it goes. I'm only going to cut 3 each, and then we'll see how much more we need there. Love my pick machine. Oh, you got it on eBay, girl. You got a good deal. $45? Nice. I think there's something wrong with mine. Well, my husband and I are gonna. We still have. He got it for me. My husband got it for me for Christmas. So we're still in that 90-day feel that I think I'm gonna have to take it back. I can't load more than like maybe 20 of them in there. There's something wrong with mine. I had him look at it after my live the other day. If you guys were with me when I was using it, I can't load an entire sleeve into it, so I need to look at it. I mean, when I opened it, something kind of seemed a little off because there was red glitter inside of it. And I'm like, okay, look, if it's brand new, you guys, shouldn't have glitter in it. So I'm wondering, maybe was it returned possibly and just put back on a shelf, or did somebody just return it and not tell them that it was defective? I don't know. But in any event, I still am within my 90 days. I can exchange it. I think that's what I'm going to have to do because I can only put like this much in it. So we'll have to look at it. Let's see. Paula, what size? Paula, what site or seller, please? Oh, she got it on. Oh, Paula got it on eBay. What size ribbon? We got that. I'll have to look at the live. Can't remember, but I think it's the only one she had. Got mine at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if that's what you mean. Pile the ribbons on top of each other and cut the dovetails 3 at a time. Saves work. Yes, Del, but I find that when I do that, my scissors, I'll do 1 at a time and I'll do 2 ends. But when I start to get a lot together, even with my sharp scissors, I start to get like a little bit of a frayed edge and it doesn't look good to me. So I'll take the time and I'll cut it. I mean, a lot of times I'm not really, I mean, you guys probably already know this because of the length of the lives I do and the lengths of my videos. When I'm creating, I don't pay attention to time. I mean, some of the stuff is tedious and it just starts to get annoying, but cutting dovetails for me, it's not. When you get a really clean cut and it looks just super clean, I just like saying a clean cut. When you start to get to it where the scissors are dull or the ribbon just won't cut correctly when you get to the wired part, I like those points to be crisp and not frayed. And let me tell you, scissors dull really quickly when you start cutting them all, but I also would like to know what kind of scissors other people are using if they're not dulling, because I've bought expensive scissors, I've bought cheap dollar store scissors, I've bought all kinds of scissors because I was like, okay, well, let me just buy them. And especially if they're dollar store scissors, who cares? You can buy like 10 of them at one time and then just go through them. But I still, after like so many times, I can't get a good crisp cut on my dovetails if I don't use fresh scissors or at least good sharp scissors, and I only do a couple at a time. Like this was a sheer ribbon. It's a lot thinner, so I did 2 at a time there. Check out eBay, Whitney. For scissors? Amy, yeah, we're probably gonna return it. My husband's gonna take it back probably tomorrow. I'm gonna box it back up after I use it tonight. We have I'm nothing if not habitual about saving receipts for my purchases. I save receipts. I have the box, the receipt, everything. So I'm within my 90 days. So it's one of those things where it'll be okay. And if the Hobby Lobby by me doesn't have another one, we'll just, my husband can go to the one by his work for me. He's been in Hobby Lobbies enough. He's been in Hobby Lobby a lot, actually. He doesn't have a choice because he's married to me. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this. The other day, I'm going to have to cut more than 3 if I put them in like that. I'm just working this out in my mind, guys, first. Hold on. Or let's see if I do like this. All right, so I'm going to have to cut more, but what you're going to do is, it's the same premise as if you are making a mesh wreath. So you're going to take your ribbon and layer it on top of itself, right? So I'm going to put these 3 together, and then basically I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to fold it in half in long ways like this, and I'm going to place this part in the front of my pick machine. I'll show you guys this way. So I'm going to place this piece right in here, right where these little jaws close over it. I already have one that's loaded in. I'm going to place it right here in the middle where these jaws are, and you just let them do their work. Some of the ribbon won't be stuck all the way in it, but a lot of it will. If you look here, okay, no, that didn't work. I might need the bigger ones. So what I did the other day when it worked for me was I did 1 ribbon at a time. So let's see if that works out better. So let's see if I do 1 ribbon at a time. Maybe 3 ribbons was a little bit too much. Any of you guys ever done this? Oh, there we go. So that's what I did, was I put the steel pick on the end of the ribbon. So I'm going to place this down into my styrofoam with glue on it, and then you get the little ribbon tail that's going to stick out. I watched Terry Marshall from Mill and Dill. She's done this on a lot of her arrangements by putting the ribbon in her steel pick machine. And see, guys, it's not loading. There we go. Something under there is not catching. You know, it might just be an adjustment, needs to be tightened. I'll have to have my husband look at it. There you go. And you're adding a steel pick to the end of the ribbon. So what I can do is I'll just bunch them together in the thing. Oh, Jan, if you cut sandpaper with your scissors, you know, I know with like my paper crafting punches, to sharpen your craft punches for paper, you can just cut some foil with it. So that sharpens your paper punches. So, I mean, sounds about right. Or I don't know if you would cut foil with scissors, but I have a scissor sharpener that I use for my sewing scissors. And that works a lot too. It's like it's a little piece that opens into one and you have to run your scissors off of it. I've done that. I mean, I guess I could do the same thing for my craft scissors. I just assumed that it only worked for my sewing shears because my sewing shears were a little bit more expensive. We'll see. Cut tin foil to sharpen it. Okay, see there? There we go, guys. We're all on the same wavelength. I'm folding them in half on the same side, by the way, because this is one-sided. It looks like it, but that's lighter and this is darker. So make sure you fold your ribbon in half on the side, like the right sides together. It's a sewing term if you guys know that, if you're familiar. Could do the pipe cleaner on the 3 ribbons and then add a steel pick to that. Yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. That's definitely a good option. Let's just see how this turns out. When I made my other ones back in the day, I obviously didn't have a steel pick machine, so it's actually quite fun to use this thing. Especially with the styrofoam, like I haven't just realized how absolutely easy it has become to use it. All right, last one. I mean, worst case scenario, guys, if this doesn't look good, I need to put more ribbon on it. I'll just do that off camera. I don't really want this to run as long as my weekend videos. Ugh. So let's see how many that is. That's 3 pieces of ribbon for each one, for each different spool. So let's just start randomly grabbing them. I'm going to put some glue on the steel pick. And then open up my mesh to where I can kind of see through, and then just start pushing that in there. And you can see your ribbon popping out. And then you can take your ribbon and you can do you can curl it with your fingers and your hands to get it to kind of, you can manipulate it to where you like it and you can see a lot more of it. I know they sell bigger steel picks. Like these, I think, are just the average size ones that I have, and they're like 2 and there's 3 different sizes, and I have the standard ones. It's like 2 3/4 or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to look, and I'll tell you guys later. But that's basically what I'm using. So maybe the bigger ones, because I've seen Terry Marshall use a lot of ribbon. I saw her use like a bundle of 3 thicker ribbons, like a couple 2.5-inch ribbon, and I'd have to go back and look because I'm pretty sure that was for a really big wreath on her steel pick machine. So she might have had the bigger picks. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this is still looking super cute, guys. If you can see here, we're just adding a bunch of ribbon in there, and the ribbon's coming out, and they're little dovetails. It's looking super cute. I'm just going to need to cut more ribbon. I mean, even then, if I was to keep all 3 together and put them in bundles of 3, I would probably cut 6 total of each one. Because if you put all 3 together, 3 bundles of ribbon would not be enough for this project. It wouldn't look right. So just finding more open spaces and then sticking it right into the styrofoam. Yeah, I'm definitely happy. It's turning out very cute, you guys. I think I can get away with doing 2 more of each. What do you guys think? I don't really want to. Donna, it's so stinking cute already. Thank you. I'll take them out. Make tutus and use tools so they work great for cutting Latin ribbon. Do we cut the ribbon a little? I didn't. I still did 14-inch because that's how long it was when it's going to stick out from the base. I'll show you in a second what I mean. Let me throw this guy in here real quick and I'll show you what I mean. When I put my hand down into the project, it was to see how long the ribbon needed to be so that enough of it stuck out, so that the base of the ribbon is hitting the base of the ribbon here where I had my thumb to measure this piece. So this is supposed to be 7 inches here, so it's 14 inches I cut. The base of the ribbon hits the top of the styrofoam. When you put the pick on, the pick is going to go in and the base of the ribbon is going to sit on the styrofoam. So you still have the same length of ribbon showing. This piece has been crimped here, but this piece doesn't show because of your mesh coming up to about where it was. So it doesn't have to be cut longer because of this piece of the pick, because that's still serving a purpose and it's still the same length, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense, guys? That's a great way and easy to add ribbon to the foam. Yeah, Paula, you don't have to make a bow. You just cut your strips and dovetail them all, and you are good to go. Nothing really too labor intensive. And these steel picks will run right straight. You see it, if you guys can tell here, see all the ribbon kind of popping through it? Got lots of light colors. You can see the yellow. Since it's so sheer, the yellow is more prevalent in person. But you can see the sheer ribbon a little bit better in person. And actually this Paper Mart ribbon, you guys, it's kind of really it's not very firm. So I'm not sure that I would buy it again. And I've got it in three different colors. But yeah, I'm not really overly impressed with this Paper Mart ribbon. It's just the perfect color, perfect color and perfect pattern what I want to use it for, but if you guys know what I mean, it's not really a stiff quality ribbon. I don't know how much I paid for it. I bought it so long ago, before I used to write down prices on things. So, I only have a little bit left of this. Is there enough to do No, only 12 inches on that. All right, guys, after this, I'm going to add the eggs, and I'll show you how I did the one egg, because the other eggs are already ready to go, so that'll go pretty quick. You guys don't have to sit through me doing all, 5 eggs. I tried to stick with like an odd number. I don't really wanted to do 4, because 4 was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, to make sure I didn't have that. I wanted to stick with an odd number, because I like odd numbers when you're making things. So I have 5 eggs. And then we can possibly rip apart these berry bushes and maybe have some of the purple berries sticking out. And then it's super pastel. And this is absolutely like classic Easter. It's looking so cute right now. It's classic Easter. So, that's the most I'm doing here is, you guys, I'm dovetailing 2 at a time, but I want to make sure I still get a really good crisp point on those dovetails. How we doing on time, guys? I know a lot of you, my East Coasters, it's getting late for you. I know, I'm sorry. If I could get Father Time to work things out for me a little bit different, I sure would. Okay, so let's do what we did before, just a few more of these. I'm going to face it towards me. You guys already saw what I was doing before, so I'm going to face it toward me so I can move a little bit quicker. I only have 6 to do, so I'll try to get through it really quick, guys. Let's see what we're doing here. Load it and then push it together. What are we doing here? Looks like a giant cupcake. Yes, and it looks like a cute little bunny-topped giant cup. Hey man, if I got a cupcake this size, talk about a good day, man. That's kind of awesome. You could. I know they make cake-shaped or cupcake-shaped cakes now, so they make all kinds of amazing stuff. I like watching those videos too, like those quick little videos on Facebook when someone's like decorating cookies. They're like mesmerizing. You realize like, oh my god, I haven't looked away from this. I've watched this whole thing. And then I'm thinking, well, then now it's too pretty to eat. I'm not going to eat it now. It does. It's only 8:28 Central Time. Yes, Johnny, so you're a little bit closer to me than my East Coasters. All right, let's see where I need to fill this in up front here, guys. Let me put a little bit of this and that. Just trying to spread out the colors evenly as much as possible. Every time you make one, you're going to have a front and a back and a side. Obviously, this is the front of the bunny. And we could even take it a step further and change the bow on this girl and give her a little bit different of a bow. I would probably retie this because it looks a little uneven and it's kind of crazy. But we could put a different bow on the bunny than what came with it. Sometimes those store-bought ones are a little crazy with the after packaging and mass produced and then shipped and all that kind of stuff. They get a little kind of crazy, out of control. They don't really look good anymore. And see, that one I stuck right down the middle of the mesh because the mesh has such large holes in it. You don't really need to be concerned with, you don't have to be concerned with like making sure you have it between one piece or another. You can just kind of push your steel pick right through the center of the mesh. If it's right where you want to put your ribbon, then tell them who's boss. I'm going to put a purple one up front here. And you can add more ribbon or less ribbon or whatever when you step back and take a peek at it, and you'll see how much and how full it looks, if it's looking good in your opinion, or if you want to add a little bit more, add a little bit more. I'm like habitual at going at things and, you know, I think it needs more ribbon right here or there. And actually I'm thinking it needs more ribbon down here on this back side, but I'm not going to cut more. I'll probably do it later, guys. It's kind of the smaller, tedious part of it. I want to show you guys how to do basically the same thing with the eggs that we did with the bunny. And then I'm going to cut, and then I cut more, I cut more ribbon to put on the bunny. I mean, on the eggs. Jeez, I can't talk. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So I'm just taking the ribbon and kind of curling it out, which is going to happen especially after storage with this thing. Moving it around, just picking it up and touching it, you're going to get, the ribbon's going to get like bent and moved around, that kind of thing. You can always twist it the same way so it looks like it's coming out the same side together. It doesn't always have to come out like this. You could get it so that it comes out together, like it's cascading out. There's never a rule saying every piece of ribbon has to look like it's coming out like that. It's however the piece wants to take shape. Okay guys, so here's where we are with just the bunny and then the ribbon in there. I think it could use more ribbon. Definitely could use more ribbon streamers. But you guys get the idea. I'll probably put more in it at a later date to cut them all and do all that. It's a little tedious. So here's where we're coming up with these little pre-made sequin eggs that I have here. And did you know you could use that machine on the ribbons? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean, Guadalupe. I did use the steel pick machine on the ribbon. How did you attach the mesh to the disc? I used floral pins. I did the ruffle technique and I used a floral pin in the middle. Yeah, it's 9:30 in Virginia. Yep, guys, I know I'm a West Coaster, so you may end up catching playback, especially if it's during the week, guys. I don't know if I'm going to do this again after work. It's kind of crazy. All right, so I'm doing the same thing on this egg that I did on the bunny. So we're going to take the egg and we're going to put our dowel. This is I like to reuse chopsticks, guys. So this is from a takeout dinner. You get like 5 or 6 pieces. So this is a chopstick. I'm cutting a point in the end of it here, diagonally. If you see how I'm cutting it. And then let me put this here. There we go. And cut the rest of that off there. So I'm cutting a point on this so that now I can take it and place it in the egg. Now, for eggs, I didn't want to put it straight on because I don't want to put these eggs on and have them look like they're just sticking straight out. So if you look, what I did here is I put the dowel in at a diagonal so that when you're placing them in your piece, they look like they're kind of offset. They're not just sticking straight out and they look a little weird. You know what I mean? You can just place your egg at an angle. I'm going to go in right where this bow is glued on, and you just kind of work your way around the sequins. Underneath the sequins is styrofoam, so find the most easiest access point somewhere and just kind of feel around. I'm going to stick my dowel in underneath this row of sequins, and again, just go very slow and gingerly. I kind of move it left and right, and go very slow. Number one, you don't want to skewer your hand on the other side. Because if you go too quickly and you push too hard, your piece could go right through the styrofoam. They're not really like crazy strong. So I'm just gingerly moving back and forth and working it slowly in. There you go. So that's where I got it. Now I'm going to pull it back out and you can see the hole that was made. Put a dab of glue on that. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then just put your dowel or your stick, your pick, your wooden pick right back in there. And then now you have a pick made out of it. And since it's already at a diagonal, you can stick this straight into your project and it's already at a really cute angle for display. I've seen things before where you can tell that someone just stuck the eggs straight in there and they don't really look like eggs after a while. They just look like weird little decorative things. So I think it makes it look better. All I'm doing now is I'm taking my little extra piece of decorative ribbon. You can get these little tiny spools in that aisle at Michael's. That's just, this is a Celebrated brand. This is going to come out for spring and summer. I have lavender. Showed you guys a little bit earlier. I did the same thing with the yellow, blue, and green. So I added another piece of ribbon to it just to give it a little bit more specialness. And so all I'm doing is the same thing here. I'm just going to take the extra ribbon and tie it around the wooden stick, make a bow, and cut it off. Then I'm going to take that bow and push it all the way up. You can put glue on here if you want, if you're worried that maybe it'll come apart. I'm not. I haven't had a really bad experience with it. Plus, if it comes undone, you can always just tie it. This is just your average, basic, like, tying your shoes kind of bow. It's not supposed to be perfect, identical. It's supposed to look a little sloppy, like a little rushed. That's part of the appeal of it, in my opinion. So after you make your bow, just push it up towards your egg. So it looks like the bow's coming down off the egg. And that's what I've done with all of these. So when I'm adding them to the piece now, see if that works. If you don't have a pick machine, can you use floral wires on the ribbons? If you don't have a pick machine, you're going to end up needing to use floral picks. They're called wooden floral picks. I got these at Hobby Lobby. You'll have to take, it's a wooden pick with a point on the end of it. Has a little piece of wire on it. At that point, you can use then a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner or wire, any of that, because in my opinion, this wire that comes on these, it's really thin and it doesn't hold much. So I would then glue the wooden piece to the bundle that you made with the, sorry guys, it's been a long day. The bundle that you made with the pipe cleaner, you would then have to wrap all that up. So that's what this steel pick machine is a lifesaver as far as it creates a lot more. Or the method that I did before, you can just take your ribbon, cinch it in the middle, and the same way that I attached the mesh to the piece with a floral pin. So you put your ribbon through the middle of here, so it's all bundled together. You put your ribbon in the middle of it, so you're holding your ribbon here. You can use this to hold your ribbon into the styrofoam as well. The wooden pick, that would obviously be much easier. The wooden pick might be something you'd want to do with a big bow, I guess, for like a bigger project. So here I'm going to try to guess. Does that make if you don't have a pick machine? Those are cute eggs. Yeah, little sequin eggs, aren't they cute? I got them at Michael's a couple years ago. They always bring out all kinds of stuff. At the angle. Okay, good. Great tip. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Yes, Beverly, yeah, more ribbon is going to look good, yeah. Oh, thank you, Donna. No reason to say you're sorry. We appreciate you taking the time to teach us. You're a blessing. Donna, you're so nice all the time. Man, you're just so nice. All right, guys. So here I'm going to guesstimate how long I need to keep these. We're going to sink the wood dowel into the styrofoam, but I already know that that's definitely too tall. So from here to here, I'm probably going to cut a good, let's see, how long is that? I'm going to cut a good 2 inches off of this right here. And that's just me guessing. I'm going to cut 2 inches off. I'm going to cut it at a diagonal just to see if this is long enough so that, remember, I don't want the dowel to show. I don't want the wooden pick to show after I nestle this guy down in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here at the front of the bunch. I want a green one up front. So I'm going to find a place. Oh, yeah, that's good. That is good. Okay, so it's always going to depend on how big your mesh is and how big your ruffles and how full it is. So what I've done is made sure that just the top of the egg is nestled right on top of where my mesh is coming out. So to give you a measurement wouldn't really do much justice because it's going to vary no matter what project you're doing. It's never going to be the same. But if you absolutely need one, I will give you one. This dowel from the base of the egg to the end is 4 inches. If that helps you, then I am happy. So I can see the hole that I already made. Right now, I'm going to find the part that, which way do I want it to, I think I want it maybe this direction. So I'm going to keep my space open in here where I made my hole, and I'm going to dip the end of the wooden dowel into the glue. Do my little circle, circle, circle to get all those strings off. And again, you're not putting a ton of glue on anything, just enough. And place that right back down in there. You can kind of fluff. Now remember, ribbon we put in already, the ribbon is getting like messed up a little bit. That's okay. We're going to have to readjust this ribbon and get it all turned around and move this way. Yeah, this green ribbon is kind of not a good quality, guys. Don't. Yeah. It's so old, I doubt that they still sell it. Because I've got 2, 4, 6. I have 8 rolls of it. I got 2 each of different colors. And this is the first time I've opened it. It's been that long. That's what I'm saying. When I told you guys I have a ribbon addiction, I am not fibbing and I am not exaggerating. I buy ribbon like crazy. And I've had this stuff for like 4 or 5 years and I haven't opened it. I was just excited that I had something that matched the project. So maybe I should cut it a little bit shorter so that it sticks up nicer. If you find that the ribbon is a little bit too heavy, if you cut it shorter, there's less on there so it won't weigh down the ends so much. So I might actually cut this green ribbon just a little bit shorter. I might go back and cut maybe about 1 inch off of each side. It's a lot more cutting, but I think I'm going to have to do that. But here's what the egg looks like, guys. So there's one egg in there. And if you see, you can't see the dowel or you can't see that wooden piece. That's the goal on all of the eggs. You don't want to see your little behind the scenes on how you made it work. You don't want it to be that way. So let me see where 4 inches is on this guy. I'm going to cut right about there. So I'm going to do that for all the other ones here. Since I measured that one and I know how much they are, I'm just going to start cutting them all off. And we're going to nestle all of them in there together. And just remember, don't push too hard and don't push everything in all the way down in. Like I know some people say, oh, you know, I want to make sure that it's really in. If you press too hard and you go down too far, you could punch all the way through the bottom and then go through the felt. And then you got a big hole in your project. So just always try to be mindful. You don't want everything to go in so far and you don't want to push it too hard because you don't want it to like break. So now all I'm doing is I'm just going to randomize. I have 5 total. And I'm going to try to spread them out evenly, and I'm just going to randomize them around the base here. And I'm going to put them in at different directions. If you have a specific side, they're cute no matter what side you look at. That's just how they are. They're just cute. I want to put green up here. Yeah, I want to put green up here. So just randomize it. Whatever you can find that looks cute, looks good, just go with it. Yep. They nestle down in so cute, guys. It's just so stinking cute. I can't help it. Can't help it. Yes, it's so cute. There we go. And then that ribbon that you put on, it's going to get kind of, I wouldn't say it's going to get lost in the ruffles, but you'll see little pieces of it peeking out here and there, and then it'll make its appearance. It'll be there. It'll show. Let's see, here's a yellow one. I'll put over here. Maybe go in that direction. This direction. Oh wait, I didn't make the hole yet. There we go. You could also plan it out to where you want the egg to like kind of be popping out through one of your ribbon bundles. That would work. That would look really super cute too. Put the blue and then another green. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, guys, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. Yep. And then the rest of it is fill it in how you feel. I really agree with a couple of you had said that too. A lot of you had said that it needs more ribbon, and I completely agree with you. It definitely needs way more ribbon. There's just not enough ribbon in this. I love ribbon, And I just feel like it needs a lot more ribbon on this down here on the sides mostly. It just looks like it's all up here and kind of concentrated in one spot. So that is definitely going to be fixed. I am going to address that. Definitely going to address that. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Here's the last egg, and then I'll hold it up and show you. Yeah. So that goes on the back of it. All right, there's the last egg. I only picked 5 because, you know, you have a really big bunny in here, so I don't really need a lot of, like, little embellishments. But I think the eggs were just big enough to where I wanted to add an odd amount, and I wanted them to be, you know, I wanted them to be big enough to be seen, big enough to catch your eye, but to not take away from the main event, which is this guy here. So here's ribbons, here's eggs. Oh, what the, come on. There's some ribbon and some eggs. You can see the little guy sticking in there. There's ribbon and eggs. Needs a lot more ribbon, guys. A lot more ribbon. And I'm just going to test this out real quick and see. I'm a lacy junkie. LOL, be loving me some lace. Give a wedding dress and I'll be cutting into it till the cows come home. I believe it. I believe it. Lace would be pretty. Let me see here, guys. I think this would actually look really good. These little berry picks coming out. Let me see what I can do here. Yeah, I'm actually going to glue this to the... Yeah, let's do this. I don't want to do too much off camera. I mean, that's the point that we're all here together, is so I can show you what I'm doing. I don't know. Maybe, guys, it feels weird because it's a weeknight for me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Normally on the weekends, I don't mind, you know, taking time and everything. It's just during the week because I work Monday through Friday. It's a little odd. And I don't want you guys to think that I don't want to do this on a weeknight. That's definitely not what I'm getting at. I absolutely enjoy doing all this with you all the time. Just cutting this off of this right here, and we'll get back at it. It also feels weird because I'm technically leaving the piece a little undone. I'm not going to cut all the ribbon because I definitely want to put a lot more ribbon back into this, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure you guys know I'm not going to leave it ribbon naked because I'm addicted to ribbon. Glass container with a floating candle. Yeah, you can do that. Just remember, make sure the flame doesn't get near the mesh because the mesh is flammable. Mesh is flammable big time, guys. It's definitely not flame retardant at all. It's flammable, just like your Christmas tree, and it'll tell you, please be careful, do not nick the open flame, all that good stuff. I didn't pick any florals because I wanted to keep this kind of simple. The berries, I think, are going to add just a little bit of more texture. And all I'm doing is I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to place a couple in here. I'm going to glue them into like the apex of my mesh bundles. So this would be sort of like the way you would glue things into a wreath if you were to have made a mesh wreath. And then you just take your pieces, the wire portions of the pieces with the berries on them, and you bend them left and right, up, down, and that gives your berry picks more dimension. Don't ever just leave them sticking straight out. That's a no-no. Looks horrible. That's why there's ribbon in them, so that we can bend them every which way and make like crazy little curly cues or different things out of them like that. So let's just start taking these and working this way and that, and I'll show you guys. This was just something I grabbed to see if I would like it, and of course it looks really good. So I'm going to curl that one that way. We'll put another one right next to it here. Curl that one down. So I'm just mixing between purple and green on this. These two berry picks that I had. You can get lots of berry picks every season. Especially at Christmas, they put a lot of berry picks out. And that's also a good time to grab a lot of the pearl colored ones or the gray steely pewter type ones, because those are still good for Easter. And also Valentine's Day. It's technically a good idea to grab them anytime you see them. I know they're more prevalently available during the holidays, so if you see them, snatch them up while you can. These guys were specifically an Easter type find, but I've had them for a while, and it just turned out that, see, they have like little glass beads in them, and some of them look like they're sugared and some of them don't. They're just super cute. So I guarantee you I bought them because they were on sale, or they were clearancing them out because the season was over. And also, if you can get this down into your styrofoam, you could just push this into the styrofoam like you would a regular floral pick. I'll show you guys in one sec. I'm going to get one of these guys down in here. How are we doing here? Whitney, you're always apologizing. LOL, you doing an awesome job. Beverly, I think maybe this is just a weird night for me. It's just weird because I was at work all day. I mean, this is kind of an awesome end to my day. I worked, this is a little weird. It's got green on it. I thought this one was purple. I need to put more green in here. This is a long day. I kind of like it though. Because I usually, I have time and I try to craft during the week, but depending on, you know, whatever needs to be done at the end of the day, majority of the time I don't have time. You know, the daily grind, and then I gotta come home, then you gotta make your lunch, if, you know, other things need to be done, laundry or whatever, and I gotta get things ready for the next morning. And of course, try to get to bed on time. I always say I'm going to, but then I never do. I can't be alone on that. I say, oh, I'm going to go to bed on time. Yeah, I don't. That never happens. Never happens. I got some really good videos from the weekend, though, with you guys. Get some really cute berries from Daiso? What's Daiso? Ing, it's giving you a problem and the kids want to get fed. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'll have it on YouTube for you. So sorry, it's Facebook's giving you an issue. That's happened to me a couple times right when I wanted to do a live, too. I had to figure out how to do it. One of my lives you guys saw I had to do on my tablet. Turned out a little odd, looked a little weird. This is turning out super cute, guys. Only have a few more to put on. And definitely going to add a lot more ribbon because this is ribbon naked. It needs to be full of ribbon. It's technically looking a little ribbon naked to me. So this is all being glued right onto the mesh. Technically, none of these are really going through most of it. It's not going down into the base of anything. This is all being glued to the mesh that's in here. But I'm getting it into the center of the, as close down to the center of the mesh as I can. Mostly where the floral pins are holding it in. So it's being glued to the mesh and the floral pins. And you're going to tight seal. As soon as hot glue touches the mesh, you're safe. The mesh is a plastic material and the hot glue melts it. And this stuff isn't going to come out. Put another one in here. Yeah, that's good. All I'm doing is putting a curl in everything. I already started with a few curls, so I'm just kind of making sure everything's just a little wavy around the whole piece. And it's moving around enough on me. Like, I know this would be a good thing to put on a Lazy Susan. I've seen a lot of people do that with their floral arrangements while you're working on them. Kind of put them on a lazy Susan so things kind of twist around a little bit for you. But since there's the felt on the bottom of this, it's sliding around my craft mat real easy. It's not really getting hung up on anything. Okay, 2 more pieces of these berries, guys. Just kind of peeking at it. We already addressed that. I'm not going to keep saying it. Need more ribbon. Put that one right there. And we're almost done. Should go somewhere up here. It's a centerpiece, so it's cute from all angles, but there is always going to be a front and a back. So obviously the front of the bunny, I'm putting more emphasis on the front with the berries, but they're pretty much displayed all over the whole piece. You can see them everywhere. And this bow on this bunny it needs help. I'm gonna try to retie it for him. Might just change the ribbon on the bow completely, but I can usually get a better bow tied than what comes on it from the, from the manufacturers. Just get a fluffier bow, some bigger loops on it. That's a little better. His bow's a little bit better. Sticks out a little bit here, but we got a little bit better of a bow on it. So let me show you guys so far. We need to add more ribbon, but we put all those little berry picks in there. And you can see that the eggs are mixed in on the sides around there. I only had 1 blue egg, otherwise I'd put another blue egg in there, but I got the 1 blue, 1 purple, 2 greens and a yellow. You got a lot of good stuff going. There's your bottom. And you see how I mean that the pink styrofoam might show through on the table a little bit, but you could always put your styrofoam, your pins a little bit closer to the edge or the bottom if you need to. And then also I am going to be adding much more ribbon to this, you guys. It's definitely not full of enough ribbon for me. I need to put probably as much as I possibly can. I have another spool of this. I have 1 more spool of that, so it shouldn't be a problem. But if I was cutting them at 14 inches long, I did, how many did I do? I did 3 each, and then I did another 2, so I did 5 each. 5, 10, 15. So there's 15 streamers in here. There's 15 tails in here, and I don't think that's enough. So I need to add more. I don't know if I would double it, but I would definitely maybe do at least another 6 total. So another 2 of each, and concentrate around maybe the bottom edge more. I'm not sure, but you guys will see it. I'll put more on there. Let's see, what do we got going on over here? Let's see. Beverly, what kind of work do? I work for an insurance broker. I work for a really big insurance broker. I do a lot of the behind the scenes compiling reports and putting a lot of stuff into summaries and Word documents. Lots of computer work. Let's see. Very pretty. I'm like that with pens. Pens, good grief, I hoard them. That's cute. All right. Yes, Sylvia or anybody, if you guys share the video, it will be, it'll stay on your page so you can always get back to it. And then also you can always just find it on my videos on my page. And then also I keep everything edited with still pictures at the end of them on my YouTube channel. And if you guys go over to my YouTube, help support my YouTube, it helps me out more than it does on Facebook. So I always have everything on YouTube for you guys. Every single video I've ever done is on YouTube. Let's see. Facebook's having problems tonight. Geez, I'm so sorry, guys. You're not the only one. I'm so sorry. Facebook's being But I hope that I hope that my download will be okay, because I have to download this from them. So let's see. What else do we have? Any other questions you guys want answered before we go? I'm going to add more ribbon. I know I've said that many times. It's probably annoying. The bow looks so much better now that you fixed it. Yeah, on the bunny, doesn't it? It's kind of fluffier now. I couldn't leave it the way it came. It was too flat, too icky. So all I just did was retie it. I was going to change the ribbon on the bunny, but I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. I just retied it. It looks better. Beautiful. Love it. So cute. Look forward to seeing the completed piece posted. First time on here and shared. Thank you, Norma. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. All right, guys. I got a little bit of ribbon work to do. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight. If you guys see pictures pop up, they'll probably be tomorrow, because I'll probably get to this tomorrow after I get off of work. But I don't know if I'll be able to do this tonight. I really want to, but it's getting a little late for me too. I know. I appreciate all my East Coasters staying up late. You guys are awesome. You guys are my troopers, my good supporters. I love that you guys are here with me. Well, Linda, YouTube, you have to have a Google account. So that just means you create a Google email address. Just make one up. And then as soon as you have a Google account, you can sign in, and then you can do everything you want on YouTube. Yeah, you can like and comment, but you just can't subscribe until you get a Google account, which is normal for YouTube. If you're going to be a YouTuber, you'll need one, because you're going to find so many more things to do. Lots of people you want to follow, not just me. There's a lot of other resources, a lot of other crafters. It's kind of a really good place. Good night. God bless. You too, Brenda. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. I'll get things finished up on this little guy here, but this is basically the premise of it. It's super cute, really easy to do. And it's a pretty good sized piece. It doesn't have much weight to it, but it's pretty solid. It won't blow off the table, but that's pretty much that in a nutshell. And you can do them for pretty much a lot of other seasons. So, that's really about it, guys. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me. And we'll make another beautiful piece on the next video. And let's see. Oh, good night from Florida. Yep. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Sweet dreams. Good night. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.